Following the arrest of 3 Adams County children and youth employees in August, CBS 21 News has continued to look into the child welfare system and where gaps in the system may lie. CBS 21's Elise Person looked into the impact staffing shortages within county agencies have, not only on the system, but families as well.
In the child welfare system, county caseworkers and service providers work as a team. But what happens to that team effort when counties are experiencing staffing shortages?
We often will see families that aren't receiving the right level of service that they need. The impacts that we see on children and families is what's most concerning.
According to data released in March from the Pennsylvania Child Welfare Resource Center, nearly half of Pennsylvania counties had a caseworker vacancy rate sitting at more than 30%.
There were a percentage of counties that had up to 89% vacancy rates. So that's unheard of.
In Dauphin County, they're working to recruit more caseworkers.
So at full staff, we could have 100 caseworkers here. Right now, we have about 60 or so.
Dauphin County CYS Administrator Marissa McClellan says low staffing numbers can have a direct impact on the families they're looking to serve.
There are best practices out there, and we don't always get to engage in every single best practice when we're lower staff. When we have more staff, we get to give more to families, and we know then that longevity of what happens with that family is better.
When a child doesn't receive the proper services, some providers say it puts a strain back on families who are already struggling. Depending on the issue, it could delay progress kids and families make, or in some cases, even reunification.
It just takes that much longer to potentially identify resources and get those services to the youth that really need it.
The data from the PA Child Welfare Resource Center showed as of March, there were only 10 counties with less than 10% vacancies. Cumberland County is one of the outliers, seeing a full staff with 53 caseworkers. But the county's Children and Youth Assistant Administrator says they've only filled those spots in the past year.
Since the beginning of this calendar year, so January 1st, we have onboarded or hired 24 casework staff.
How does that play a role in your caseworkers and their workload?
Well, obviously, it just increases the amount of time that they're spending out in the field and working with families.
Staffing shortages within county agencies can also play a role on what is asked of outside service providers, such as foster care services, increased visitation with a family, transportation services, and more. McClellan says county caseworkers are the coordinators to get the families what they need, but the providers are the ones that actually bring them those services. So when counties are experiencing those staffing shortages,
we're always getting asked for more and more. We can't take the place of what a county caseworker is supposed to do, but we have to make accommodations.
So what we're starting to see is counties reach out to providers to say, can you take on more of our caseload for us? Can you case manage these cases for us? Now providers are being asked to take on those roles.
Now, just as providers feel the impact of county agency staffing shortages, county agencies also feel the impact when providers are experiencing staffing shortages. But what happens to children and families when both county agencies and providers are experiencing those staffing shortages? Well, all of that story on Thursday, only on CBS 21 News at 11. I'll send it back over to you.
If you think there's a case we should take a look at, call our Project PA Children in Crisis tip line. It's the number on your screen. That's 717-857-3613. Still ahead of the next half hour, our national correspondent brings us the latest on the war in the Middle East.
I'm Scott Thuman in Washington with how the war in the Middle East is becoming a larger international threat and what's being done to protect American interests.
Well, it is a frosty cold start to the day. Clear skies overnight. Winds have eased quite a bit, so we don't have too much of a breeze out there this morning, but it is just cold. A lot of spots that are already well down into the 30s. Frost advisory in effect this morning until 9 a.m. and with good reason. We've got several spots that have dipped down into the mid-30s. I don't think we're looking at a widespread frost here. But look, we still have a couple of hours until sunrise, and so these temperatures could still dip a couple of degrees here, and a few spots are going to get down close to even that freezing mark here as we start the day. But, you know, as cold as it is to start out, it is wrap and peel weather because won't even need the jacket this afternoon. Plenty of sunshine. It's going to be a really nice day with high temperatures right around 70 degrees. And then tomorrow looks pretty good as well, and a couple of degrees warmer with afternoon high temperatures climbing into the low 70s.
Here's a look at the area roadways from the Hackman Smart Roof Traffic Alert Center.
Right, taking a look at your roadways this morning. Here's a live look at 81. Looks like traffic is picking up on those roadways, but no major issues or delays to report at this time. 83 and Route 30 are moving well through York County this morning. And here's a live look at 222. Looks a little bit similar to 81 this morning. Got a little bit of traffic out on those roadways, but again, no major issues or delays to report. Lancaster is picking up a little bit of congestion, but it is accident-free. 222 north of Lancaster, head toward that Reading area. Now take a look at your drive times. A little bit of congestion if you're traveling from Newport to Harrisburg this morning. It's going to take you 21 minutes. York to Lancaster, 21 minutes as well. And Langleystown to Harrisburg, it's going to take you about 10 minutes. 36 minutes if you're traveling from Harrisburg to Lancaster, and about 44 minutes from Lancaster to Lebanon. And that's a look at your CBS 21 traffic report. War that began between Israel and Hamas is becoming more complicated and potentially dangerous as other countries get involved. Sinclair's chief political correspondent Scott Thuman explains how that affects America's role and possibly those American hostages being held in Gaza.
Both from Israel's north and the south, fears of a wider war in the Middle East growing, and how much Iran's involvement as an ally of Hamas will complicate an already explosive situation. Iran's foreign minister announcing he spoke to Hamas leaders about support to Gaza, just as the White House worries how retaliation and a potential ground invasion by Israel would affect American hostages being held there.
We've been talking to our Israeli counterparts about their plans, their intentions, their strategy.
Israel seeing the next stage of fighting as almost inevitable, showing what it claims is proof. Hamas has considered the use of cyanide or chemical weapons based on evidence recovered from dead militants.
And in this material, there were instructions how to produce chemical weapons.
Meanwhile, U.S. officials continue to urge Americans to leave countries that are immediately more dangerous, from Lebanon to Iraq.
Due to increased tensions in various locations around the world, the potential for terrorist attacks, demonstrations, or violent actions against U.S. citizens and interests, the Department of State advises U.S. citizens overseas to exercise increased caution.
Some also suspicious of China's recent military moves as it sent warships to the region after the initial attack on Israel as part of a so-called goodwill tour. China still a major concern in general, as discussed by top intelligence leaders of America's closest allies.
There is no country that presents a broader, more comprehensive threat to our ideas, our innovation, our economic security, and ultimately our national security.
And as tensions rise, America sending additional air defense systems to the Middle East, as well as the aircraft carrier USS Eisenhower to defend against increased attacks on U.S. military facilities. In Washington, I'm Scott Thuman.
You can help all people of Israel. Our parent company, Sinclair, is proud to partner with Magan David Adom. Sinclair Cares humanitarian relief for Israel. Your donations will help efforts to bring humanitarian relief and emergency medical services to Israel. To learn how you can help, go to sinclairscare.com or scan that QR code on your screen. This morning, the man convicted in a deadly mass shooting at a Pennsylvania synagogue must pay more than $300,000 in restitution. Monday, a federal judge ordered Robert Bowers to compensate the more than 20 victims and family members of the 2018 shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. 11 people were killed. The order comes just days away from 5th anniversary of mass shooting. It's unclear if Bowers will be able to pay. The money is to be paid to the Pennsylvania Victim Compensation Assistance Program to cover counseling, medical care, and funeral expenses. A federal jury unanimously sentenced Bauer to death in August. At least 2 people were dead and dozens injured after poor visibility led to many cars pileups on Interstate Road in Louisiana. The aftermath was all caught on video. Multiple roads were closed in the area as troopers responded to the scene. Heavy fog conditions on the roads combined with smoke from nearby marsh fires caused the crashes, according to the police. It was reported that hundreds of vehicles were involved and some even catching fire. At first, responders tried to help the injured and move survivors out of harm's way. Others were able to escape on their own.
She calls me, Mama, they've had a bad wreck and we're in it, but we're okay.
Most of the roads was closed for more than 2 hours, with a portion of the highway still closed as of last night. And the fifth and final suspect in the 2022 Roxborough High School shooting that took the life of a 14-year-old boy has been arrested. 17-year-old Daron Bernie Thorne at an apartment complex in Philadelphia's Germantown neighborhood. Officials say when law enforcement arrived, the 17-year-old jumped out of a fourth-floor window, fell in front of U.S. Marshals who were waiting for him on the ground. After being taken into custody, he was taken to an area hospital for serious injuries. Officials say he's been on the run for over a year. And as crime throughout PA continues to rise, police want to be much more aware of your surroundings. The constable's office in Windsor Township York County safety class for the York community and showed some revealing stats. In a recent survey, Pennsylvania say they were about equally concerned with property crime, gun violence, and package theft. The event touched on a number of ways to prevent crime, including mental preparedness and out-of-town security.
We're hoping that they can pay attention to their surroundings and pick up on something that they normally wouldn't have and make a little change in their routine to keep them safe.
Already 39% of those recently surveyed say they don't leave the house without personal protection.